When I think about my faith journey, I think a way I think about it is like the prodigal son, prodigal daughter. So sort of finding myself in a really miserable place in my life where I realized I didn't like the life I was living. I was not actually happy. My name is Melina Arguello, and I'm originally from Argentina, from a little town in Argentina, and I moved to Minnesota when I was pretty young. Got married last year. I had a COVID wedding, but it was incredible, and we're parishioners at the Cathedral of St. Paul. My mother's side of the family was very, very faithful, and growing up in Argentina, my cousins were very faithful. It wasn't just cultural Catholicism, but it was just kind of embedded in the way of life. So I was around the church a lot. I was very familiar with the prayers, all the kind of crazy stuff us Catholics do. It was very normal to me. And then we moved to the United States. I know that my own parents had their own kind of renewal in their faith journey. I was in the youth group that my mom led. I was watching my mother sing in the parish choir. So just always around parish life, around Catholics, and around very many faithful Catholics. Probably in junior high was when I started just wanting more of the worldly things. I was very interested in the things of this world more than the things of God. Right? The things of this world are good, but I was very, very interested in what others thought of me, how others saw me, wanting to prove myself, wanting to show that I was good at things, that I was smart, that I was athletic, that I was... and that's very quickly when I started to go down a path that was not God's path for me, I would say, I guess. Like not a good moral life. I was sold by the world, and I was all in. I think I got to a point where, I just felt... I was just like exhausted with the way I was living, and it was after a relationship that I was in that kind of hit rock bottom. In that moment is when I experienced God's love, God's merciful gaze upon me that said, like, I've been here all along, and I don't condemn you, and I love you, and come to me and be healed. My mother, who also noticed that I was kind of having a change of life. She noticed that I'd ended the relationship that I was in. I kind of went cold turkey on all things that I knew were wrong, and that was definitely grace that allowed me to be convicted of like the life I wanted to change my ways, and I needed to just drop a lot of things, and so I did. And my mom noticed that, and she invited me to a parish. It was like a young adult group. I was 18 at the time, and these Latino students from the University of St. Thomas actually were leading these bi-weekly, or I think it was every week, like showings or groups they were showing the Bishop Barron's Catholicism series. I was struck by the content of the episode we'd watch itself, just that the faith is so palatable. I mean, it makes sense. It was like, wow, like I'm at a place now where I have a lot of questions, and here is this priest who's answering many of the ones that I've had that I've maybe never asked, or, in asking those questions, you go deeper into your own faith. And so I was very struck by the beautiful history of the church. And then I was also struck by the students, because it was students leading it, and these were students of great faith. And I was like, man, they're like 18, 19, and like they're faithful, and they're normal, and they're fun, and they're really smart. And I was like, who are you? Where do you come from? How do you know this stuff? And they were like, oh, we're students from the University of St. Thomas, and we're in the Catholic Studies department. And so I ended up going there my junior year, and I knew like, wow, this is what the Lord has for me. Like I want to come to St. Thomas. I want to go to St. Thomas. I want to study there. I want to do Catholic studies. And sure enough, the Lord opened the doors, and I received a scholarship that was very helpful, and so many kind people that just welcomed me and guided me through that. And I took a bunch of classes which continue to deepen my faith. From then, I graduated from college 3 years ago now, and it's just been a continual deepening of that through different things, different literature, my own friend groups that I have that we get together, reading scripture, obviously the sacraments, and just continuing to grow in that way.